Hey guys, thank you for joining us. If you need one reason, you might as well have 5. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the sub button because we publish content every day. It was a worldwide phenomenon. It shattered records, exceeded expectations. It was a movie that brings a moment of positivity to a group of people often not the centerpiece of Hollywood movies. A movie like this helped strengthen the importance of representation, and it helped reduce the likelihood on internalizing negative stereotypes about one's ethnic group. But most of all, it brought to our screens a king, a super king, Chadwick Boseman. As Africans, we celebrated this movie, we loved it. There were references that they got wrong and were incorrect, but today we count down the 5 South African references that the Marvel blockbuster Black Panther got right. We can all agree there's a lot of South African nods and appearances in Black Panther, from having the legendary Dr. John Kani play King T'Challa, to the iconic Connie Chiume as the mining elder, to dancing to Babe Sodumo, and the cameo from Trevor Noah as he takes on Jervis's job. However, in this video, we look at the iconic subtle South African references that you might have missed in Black Panther. At number 5, it's the language. Even though the pronunciations are a bit off, the official language for Wakanda is isiXhosa, which is one of the official languages in South Africa, spoken by approximately 8 million people as a first language and 11 million as a second language. It became the official language for Wakanda in Captain America Civil War, after Dr. Kani suggested to the producers that speaking in a native language would evoke more emotions.
Ukuba uphinde wakuchukumisa takuqoma apha kwesisihlalo.
Does she speak English?
When she wants to.
At number 4 is a shout out to Dr. Esther Mahlangu. Nakia and King T'Challa share a moment in downtown Wakanda. In the background, you can see Dr. Esther Mahlangu's Ndebele graphics, a well-known and celebrated South African artist who has been commissioned by various brands around the world, from Rolls-Royce to BMW, to do their limited editions. Number 3 is a shout out to Bloom. Turns out Wakanda is near Bloemfontein. Jonathan of Time Slice Cinematography confirmed that he and his team shot over the Golden Gate Highland National Park on behalf of Marvel. Even though they didn't know that they were shooting Wakanda at the time, it was both great and comforting to see realistic landscape representation in the movie. At number 2 is the spear and the Amahau references. Throughout the movie, the one weapon that is available is a spear, from the Dora Milaje to the Black Panther himself. The Zulus and other Nguni tribes were renowned for their use of the assegai before the introduction of firearms. King of the Zulus, Shaka Zulu, invented a shorter version of the assegai, which was 0.61 meters, with a broader blade that was called Ingwa, inspired by the sound that it would make when it was wounding its victim. This was typically used with one hand, while the other hand held a cowhide shield for protection. In the movie, we first see this reference when Mbaku challenges T'Challa for the throne, and later on when Killmonger does the same. But that's not all. The Dora Milaje continue to use the longer spears, but T'Challa as well as Killmonger uses the shorter version that was invented by Shaka Zulu, which is a nod to the Zulu king, as well as acknowledging the invention that he came up from one king to the other, Bayete. At number 1, it's the clothes and the attires. Starting off with the Basotho blanket, which is worn by South African Sotho people as well as people from Lesotho. Animal skin cloak, although their transformation to factory woven textile is attributed to King Moshosho. By 1860, securing sufficient skin for carousels was increasingly difficult, and by 1872, a large majority of sheepskin covers had been replaced by poor quality cotton or wool. The king secured a production of special blankets in 1876 after meeting with Scottish textile manufacturer Donald Fraser. We've seen references of the blankets in pop culture, the 2017 Louis Vuitton fashion show being example. The gold ring worn by the Dora Milaje comes from the Ndebele tribe, known as the Nzila, worn by married women. Traditionally, husbands are supposed to provide the rings once they build a home for their wives. The wealthier the husbands, the more rings you have. And then we have the Zulu beads. Historically, they were used as a language between men and women to express their feelings, relationship status, or to convey a message on the appropriate behavior expected from the opposite sex. And lastly is Tolo, worn by Queen Mother herself. This is another Zulu reference. It was traditionally a symbol of being married. It still is, but it was also a hairstyle back then, as it was made out of women's hair and grass. We've seen it in pop culture, even though within the Zulu tribe it is frowned upon, people still wear it as a fashion statement. Okay guys, that's it for today. Please hit the sub button if you find that informative. If not, please let us know why. And please let us know if you saw any references that we missed out on.